Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We have a great set of lesson plans today, and we're ready for you. And always be aware that you have an opportunity to contact me through your computer. So if you have a question, I'll try to answer your questions. In the meantime, we're going to be using My English Lab, and we're going to start with Unit 2. And that is a hard day's work. So I'd like for you to work with me as I show you the screen. And we have Unit 2, a hard day's work. Click on the menu here and you will come up with Workbook Future 1 and Unit 2. So we're going to be looking at some of those vocabulary, grammar, life skills. And we're going to see the book that we have, which is right in front of you, Future Level 1. This is Beginners 1, okay? And you press on that, and then you get the whole book area, and there's several areas that we're going to be working on. Not all of them. Remember, this is class number 1, week number 2. So we have several weeks to cover 6 units. And you can see the unit that we finished last week, getting to know you. Now it's all about work. It's all about jobs and how to use those jobs in your sentences. Now, jobs can also be called occupations, and I need to write that up for you. So not only will you have, we're going to be talking about jobs, they're also occupations. They're also called occupations. And you're used to hearing work. That's another word that you can use, work. So you have jobs, occupation, and the type of work that you do. Okay? And those can be used in different times. You can always say my occupation is, my jobs. Another word, position. What do you do? What is your position at work? Usually work is the location. Location. Place where you work. Okay, so these are a few words. You may want to write on your notebook. Remember I said please always have a notebook so you can cover some words that you want to learn, that you want to remember. So you go in and we're going to be talking about hard day's work. Hard day's work means, do you
want to know in which book? Can you
okay, book number 1 right here.
point it out?
See this blue heavy line? Future number 1. That is Beginners 1.
Can you reach out? Or is
And
it
then we can look at right here, Future 1. I hope you can see that. Now, there's several units that are listed in this menu. This is a menu bar. We're doing unit number 2, a hard day's work. This section will cover grammar, vocabulary, some listening, and we're going to work with that in 4 sessions this week. Session number 1, we begin doing vocabulary, jobs, the type of jobs you have, okay, and how we can create sentences. Anytime you have a word that you want to remember or a sentence you want to remember. Write it on your notebook. The reading, the listening, the writing down on your notebook is going to combine those three skills. Those three skills make it possible for you to speak it. So we're going to be working through that today. So now I would like for you to click on vocabulary. Click on vocabulary, and you see it comes down in 4 areas. And we're going to be working through each part. Now just follow me a little bit. Get a sense of what we're doing in these areas, and then you can go back to your account. Sometimes my talking can be fast. I try to talk slow, but I'll do the best for you to follow me. Sometimes looking at the book and me trying to guide you, I hope we can combine together. If not, don't get nervous. Don't get nervous whatsoever. Okay, so I see many are coming in class. I'm happy to see that. And we're going to begin. And we're going to see where we can identify jobs, identify occupations. So we have different ways of saying things, and it's going to be about 16 different kinds of positions. What do you do? What do you do at work? Maybe you don't work. Maybe you do work. So we're going to start looking at that. Let's look at some of those flashcards. We're going to hit the first one. See the blue here? And we're going to open. And I'm going to go slowly. We're going to open. Oh, we have pictures. I love pictures. That's one way of identifying the kind of job that you have or the kind of job that are listed. So we're going to hear a little bit. Okay, I moved it up a little bit. And we're going to, do you know what he does? What is he? We're going to start using the verb be. And let's look at the board here for a little bit. We covered that last week. And the subject, I am, he is, she is, we are, you are, they are, it is. We're going to use that in a sentence. We'll start with the subject. We'll start with the verb. Then we're going to use an article. That means once we look at the kinds of jobs, let's look at I am a cook. I am a cook. That's singular. We have this as a sentence, a complete sentence. I am a cook. We're using the verb be. That is to be. And we're going to start learning when do we use a and when do we use an. Those are some of the areas we're going to discuss in a little bit. But I started with one sentence because we notice the picture. The picture, let's go back to the picture. You see him cutting vegetables. He is a cook. He looks like a cook. A cook. Maybe his position is a chef. But right now we're working on cook, and we can hear. Let's play the audio. Hopefully you hear it. If you don't hear it, we are going to look at the word. He is a cook. He is a cook. So I'll leave it that way and then we'll go back. He is a cook. I am a cook. He is a cook. She is a cook. So we move on. Let's see the next position, the next job. Here we have a gentleman smiling. So he's smiling and he's serving. And his job is a waiter. A waiter. A waiter is a man. A waitress is a woman. Again, a waiter. He serves people. He serves food. A waiter is for a male and a waitress is a woman. So we have two types of identifying a job in a restaurant. So a waiter, okay, which is this man here holding plates. A waiter. If it was a female, a woman, it would be a waitress. So he is a waiter. Next. All right. Do you know what she is? Do you know what she is? A doctor. She is a doctor. She is a doctor. So you always have to use the article, noun, it's singular, a doctor. She is a doctor. I am a doctor. You are a doctor. That's one person. They are doctors. And we're going to say, well, what do I use a doctors in plural? No, only singular. So this is singular. Next. It's hard there. All right, so what do you think is happening? What is happening? What is happening in this picture? Let's see. Oops, it moved me on. Okay, looks like a nurse. Let's see. Let's hear. Okay, let's look. She is a nurse. She is a nurse. So when you're sick and you have to go to the doctor, the first person you see is a nurse. So she is a nurse. A man is a nurse. So you can use nurse for man or a woman. Interesting, right? It's given a general term for man and a woman. He is a nurse. She is a nurse. So let's go to the next occupation. What is he What is he? It's a question. What is he? He looks like he's working with flowers. Outdoors. Outdoors is outside. Outdoors. Plants. Flowers. Let's see what is his job. Do you know what his job is? He is a gardener. He is a gardener. So if you have a gardener, then you have also a woman gardener. It could be a man or female. In the United States, the occupations are open for all, whether you're a man or a woman. A gardener can be for both. And working outdoors, maybe you like outdoors. You like working in the environment. Environment is the outside, outdoors. Okay, so he is a gardener. He works outdoors. He is a gardener. She is a gardener. Could be both, either way. All right, he looks like he's having fun. He's doing something there. Look in the background. That could be transportation of a bus. Okay, maybe he's a bus driver. I don't know. Maybe he is a truck driver. Different type of vehicle. Vehicle are cars, trucks, okay, and different types of vehicles. So I believe he's a bus driver. So I'm going to look and see bus driver or a driver. And it looks like it's a big area. So let's look at the word. He's a driver. You're a driver if you drive a car. He drives. He is a driver. I am a driver. Not trucks, not buses, cars. Okay? So a driver. So he is a driver. So let's keep going down as we move. And I do it slowly so you can hear pronunciation. You see the writing. Those two things are very important. Pronunciation, you listen, you read, and then practice. There's a way of practicing. All right. It looks like she's in a store. She's doing something. She has a machine in front of her. She has something in her hand. It's a tool. She's scanning. So what do you think she is? What is her job? What is her position? It looks like a store. So we're going to find out. She is a cashier. Her job is a cashier. So a cashier works with money. Whenever you buy, you come to the cashier. She processes the payment and you buy. So she is a cashier. A cashier requires knowing money, knowing math. So that's important to be a cashier. Next. There are two people here. Two people. It looks like they are helping the one dressed in red, color red, that's a color red. He has a blue shirt, blue. Very soon we're going to cover colors. So he must be helping the man to find something. So what position do you think he is or has? What position? Let's see. Let's flip. Oh, he's a sales assistant. He is a sales assistant. He is helping someone look for a product. Look for what they want to buy. They want to buy something. So the sales assistant helps the man. He is a sales assistant. A woman is a sales assistant also. So you can use it for a man or a woman. A sales assistant. It can be both, a man or a woman. Lots of paperwork. She must be in an office. She looks like she's in an office. She's working in an office. She has a desk. So what is her position? What do you think is her position? She could be a manager. She could be an office assistant. Let's find out what it is. She's working with paperwork. But there's one thing that I see she's doing. Calculating. Calculating. It looks like she has receipts. Little receipts. So she's counting something. Okay, so she's counting something. Maybe she's an accountant. All right, so we don't know what is her job. We're going to find out. Let's find out what is her job. What is her occupation? What is her position? Okay, like I mentioned earlier. Oh, she's an accountant. An accountant works with numbers. They put the numbers in the books. They have to be responsible of what is being purchased, that means buying, and recording to see how much is coming in money. So she is an accountant. She uses a calculator to calculate. So we can see individuals standing here, so sorry. All right, so what is she doing right here? What is she doing right here? She's looking at something. It looks like she's looking at files. First, I thought it was clothing, but it's not clothing. See this metal and then paper. So she must be an office assistant. She works in an office. So let's see, she is an office assistant. There we go, an office assistant. She works in the office. So if she works in the office, she is an assistant. She helps the manager. She helps the supervisor. She helps the department where she works doing paperwork. So she does paperwork. Okay, next, and we're getting close to the end. There were 16 occupations. The spelling, it's good to see the spelling. You see this? An office, not a office. Why not? And is only used with vowels. And we're going to cover that in the grammar. An office, this is a vowel. That's when you use an. and it's singular. So the position, the job is singular. So you have to use either a or an. When you hear an office assistant, you think you're saying and. You have to learn to listen to the idea of the sentence to know if it's and or a excuse me. It takes practice. It takes practice. It takes patience. Not everyone can learn English in one night. No. But give yourself permission to do the work, and little by little, you repeat, and that becomes a thinking process that becomes familiar. When it comes familiar, then it's permanent. Then English becomes a memory, and you start speaking it. So we have to learn what is the writings, how it's pronounced, how you're going to speak it. But speaking it means, do you know how to create a sentence? Once you create a sentence, the words sometimes blend, sometimes get together, and you don't hear it. An office assistant. If I say, I am an office assistant, you say, what? What did she say? I'm an office. Oh, that's what it sounds like sometimes. But when you read it, I am an office assistant, your thinking will begin to identify it. I am an office assistant. I am an office assistant. You'll start hearing it, become familiar, and then it helps you to speak it. Next, what is she doing? Is she cooking? She looks like she's cooking. She has vegetables. Is she a cook? I think so. I think she's a cook. Where is she? Is she in a kitchen? Yeah. Excuse me. She's in a kitchen. Now, is the kitchen in her home or is the kitchen in a restaurant? It looks like something you and I do. Let's see what it is, what her position is. A homemaker. Do you know that if you work at home, cooking for the family, cooking for the friends, cooking for the children, you will have, really, you're worth a lot of money. A homemaker knows how to use the food, how long to cook it, what they need to create a special meal. Meal is food that you're serving. So that's worth a lot of money. That is a position. Statistics say that a homemaker who cooks for a family of 4, cleans the house, takes the children to school, lots of work at home. If you're at home, you're worth a lot of money. You're worth about more than teachers make sometimes because you have skills. Skills in cooking, skills in creating the food, skills in setting up, skills in creating the schedules. Schedules means going to school, picking up the children, all of that. Those are a lot of duties. So we're going to find out what duties are. And I'm just writing it down so I don't forget. So don't worry if you don't see it right now. But we'll come back to that. That's what a homemaker. You're probably a homemaker. I don't know. You may say, no, I'm a homemaker after work. So I got 2 jobs. I have a real job And I'm a homemaker. That means at home you do a lot of work. Oops, wrong way. Sorry about that. Hitting the wrong computer. There we go. Here it looks like someone teaching a child. So you have a lady, a female, a woman helping a child, a boy child. Okay, you have a boy child. Let's see, what is her job? What do you think? Could she be a teacher? Let's see, could she be a daycare worker? Someone who works in a daycare center for small children. That's a child care worker. That means they work in a daycare center. In the daytime, they go to these centers where children are and they help. They're called a child care worker. Okay? Great. Now we have this lady. This is a lady. This is a woman. Okay, this is a lady. This is a woman. This is a female. I said 3 different types. A lady is very polite way of saying the lady. Very polite. The woman, the female. And there's ways of using that. You can be very general with it. You can use that. All right, well, what is she? She looks like she works in a hotel. She's a housekeeper. She works in hotels. She works in houses where she gets paid to clean or serve. Depends on the position. So a housekeeper is someone who works in the hotels, someone who cleans the room, cleans the bathroom, or you have access to different homes and you get paid for cleaning. Okay, so next. There we go. What is this lady doing? She looks like, this is my hobby. This is what we call hobby, pastime. Okay, I like when I'm resting to paint. When I'm resting to draw. So this is an artist. She is an artist. She is painting or drawing. So what is her position? An artist. An artist could be anything. In general, painting, drawing, creating, designing. So we are going to look at what is her position? What is her job? She has paints all over here. She has a brush. She has something in her hands to mix colors, She is an artist. She is an artist. She's an artist. She's is a contraction of she is an artist. And look, we have to use the letter N. This letter N is for vowels. It's singular, A-N, because of the vowel. If you were to say artist, it's not going to come out correct. A artist, N artist. It's easy and clear. An artist. Okay, so she is an artist. Okay, is he an artist? He has a brush. He has paint. Is he an artist? And you're going to say, he doesn't look like he has different paints. He has a big brush. So what do you call that position? A painter. He is a painter. So if he's a painter, let's look. He is a painter. There we go. He is a painter. A for singular. Painter, it has a consonant. This is called a consonant, not a vowel. This is a vowel. This is a vowel. This is a vowel. And you're going to say, oh, that's interesting. This is a consonant. So when you have a consonant, you don't need the letter N. So you say a painter. And last, we're going to look at the next one, sorry. There we go. Uh-huh. He looks like a construction worker because he has that hat, a construction worker, but he's not working with a hammer or wood. So what is he? It looks like all these kind of wires. He's connecting wires. See all these little things coming out? Those are wires. So he's doing something with those wires. All right. He's wearing a red shirt. This is a red shirt and a white hat. White hat. Okay, so let's look and see. What is his position? Do you know? An electrician. And because this is a vowel, A-N, electrician. He is an electrician. He is an electrician. So we completed 16 different positions, different jobs, 16 jobs, 16 occupations, okay? So they all have different positions in the company. They all have something special that they have to do. Okay, so now we're ready to exit and go back. Let's see what this says in the next. Let's hit next. Let's look at what next brings up. Oh, there are different connections. This is a game, but this game you can do it by yourself because it's about guessing. Guessing, matching the word and the picture. Matching the word and the picture. I'm not going to play with this because it'll take my time, but you can do that because you went through 16 positions, 16 jobs. So you can work with that when you get a chance. You can go back. It gives you some time right at the bottom, you see? It gives you how long it took you to match and identify the words and the job. And it's a lot of fun because it's like, oh, I saw the job here, but not the words there. So you're looking. So play with it. You just start and then redo it, and you have fun identifying the jobs. Let's see what else they have next in that same area. Oh, okay. We're ready to look at more vocabulary. Here, you learn to drag. Drag means touch one of these and bring it to the picture. We're going to do that now, okay? So, who is he? He looks like a cook, right? Or is he a homemaker? Which are the two? I think he's a cook. He is a cook. So one of the ways that you play is you bring it down. Oops. You bring it down to, let's see if I can do it. There we go. There you go. And yes, he is a cook, and you can do that. We know who he is. He's a man. So if he's a man, what do you call his position? A waiter. So you bring that down, and then you have the other two to work with. And then once you do that, you can submit. Let's do that little exercise. Let's see if we can bring that down. There we go. A waiter. She has a calculator. Is she a doctor? I think she's a doctor. She looks like a doctor. All right, so let me do the doctor first. Oops. Let's bring this up a little bit. It's trying to bring it down. It's not easy. And you probably have the same situation. You just click on it and then drag. You keep your finger on the tab and bring it down, and it'll enter. It could be a problem. You have to press and bring it down, pressing it. So you have to press in order to get those boxes in the place that you wanted it. So let's try this last one. So now we know. See, I'm having, okay, there we go. Let's see. You click, yep. It's not letting me, but okay. We'll leave it alone. It gives me a little problem. And it could be just something very minimal. And it's not, it's kind of, there we go. The computer is so sensitive, and many times you may have to use both fingers. You press down on the word, and you use your other hand and bring it down. Or your mouse. I like mouse. I prefer mouse. I don't like the touch. Now, if your screen, if you can touch it from the screen, that's better. But when you have to have one finger and then bring it down, I have a little problem. But let's look at this. We all know the accountant was the last. Let's save it. Should we save it? I recommend saving it. It's been saved. So that gives us a future way of seeing. Once that it's saved, it'll give you a grade. And it's going to keep going on. And let me try. I'm going to try to bring it down quickly. And it'll be for you the mouse. You click on that first button and stay with your finger pressing it and bring it down. Because that can be something you learn today. Or if the screen, you can press your finger and bring it down. This screen is not a smart screen, so we'll have to do it through the computer. So what is the first lady? This woman here, she's a housekeeper, right? So I'm going to do this. Housekeeper, lovely. We saw that this little boy is learning, and she must be some kind of a worker or a mother. We don't know. But up here we don't see mother. So is she a painter? Is she a gardener? A painter paints walls. A gardener outside? No, she's a childcare worker. There we go. This man here down, he has a brush in his hands. He's using white paint. So he is a painter. So let's bring the painter, the word a painter. He is a painter. And the last, we have a gardener. Lovely. Let's save it. Like I said, remember, save. And you say, okay, it's been saved. And now submit. We got 100%. Thank you for helping me get to this. This book, when you save, and submit, you get a grade. You see? So the 2 areas of jobs, I got a score 100%. I answered it correctly. And that's how you're going to know how you're doing. That is progress. You learn, let's say you had 90, you had 80%, maybe 70%. You can go back in and redo it. Okay, it could be just learning the positions. But that's something you can play with this program. My English Lab is a wonderful, wonderful way of learning English. So good. Now we can exit. See how the check marks are all coming in? It's like, oh, yes. And then if we could, now that we learned some of these, let's see what's next. Recording. I'm going to do one. You're going to hear someone talk. And one of the things that you do is you're going to hear it, but you may not be able to hear me record it. So when you listen, let's just try. A cook. And then you record here. For me, there's no microphone, which is okay. But if you have microphone on, you can record, you can say it. So that's okay for now, but at least you know how to use this system to listen.
A waiter.
A waiter. A waitress. And then you go in, and we know it's not available. The microphone is not available. But you can do all that. And that will help you pronounce. Not only did you read, you identified the pictures with the words. You started identifying it by like writing. It's kind of writing it. And that helps you to pronounce it too. So this is a great way of continuing your pronunciation. All right. So let's look at something here. Let's see. I think this is if we try again, I have a feeling it's the recording. Yeah, we're good. We already have that. We already know the answers. So we don't need to go there. We go back to the course. Now we're ready to move on. All right. You see this little arrow? You hit that arrow so that we can begin the next one. So that way this goes away. It closes. So let's hit that. There you go. See, we're done with vocabulary. Now we're ready for listening. All right, so we're ready for listening. And we have 2 types of exercises. Listening and speaking. Here, listening and speaking is where we're going. Okay, we're going to open. So you mark open. So you hit that, press that, and it opens up. And this is great. This is something that you need to practice, listening, listening, and listening. In this case, you have a chance to see what are they saying. You see this little bar? You hit that, and it starts speaking. You hit this area, this little arrow. Any arrows is usually a way to tell you that's where you hit so you can hear the conversation. Now, listen. You're going to hear the conversation. And now you're going to have to put this in order. Okay? What did they say first? And then you hit here. The second thing, and on. So you're going to have to listen and probably repeat, repeat, and repeat. And it's going to give you a way of listening clearly. Not listen to me, but listen to the picture. You have how many people there? Oh, there's 3 people. 2 men and 1 woman. Okay? 2 males and 1 female. And they look like they were at a party. Here they're introducing, because remember, listening and speaking, introduce someone and talk about your job. 1. That's the section we hit. Let's listen.
So what do you do?
I'm a gardener, and I'm a student at Greenville Adult School.
Really? I'm a student there too. And I'm an artist.
Oh, that's interesting. I think Emilio is an artist too.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's a painter.
Right, but he's a house painter, not an artist.
Wow. Did you get that? Now you're ready to put it in order? Not even easy for me. I heard the conversation. I know they were talking about pretty much who they are, you know, what do they do? That means what kind of a position, job, occupation they do. And we're going to hear it one more time, and I'll stop it every time. So that way it gives you access. You can stop. When you want to stop an area, you stop here at the arrow. You hit it. So that way you can remember, what is it that they said? And this is one way, and we'll try now. So that way you learn to do that every listening.
So what do you do?
So what do you do? Okay, where is that? Oh, I see it here. It's the first thing. So what do you do? That was the first thing that came to Gabriela speaking. So Gabriela's talking. Let me go back to the arrow.
I'm a gardener, and I'm a student at Greenville Adult School.
Oh, this is easy. This is going to help you. You can always repeat if you like, but I already know what the next sentence is going to be. So she said, Gabriela says, so what do you do? And Pierre, the man, he says, I'm a gardener. And I'm a student at Greenville Adult School. Whoops. So let's listen to the next sentence.
Really? I'm a student there too. And I'm an artist.
All right, that's a full sentence. So, Gabriela says, really? I'm a student there too. And I'm an artist. So, she's a student and she is an artist. And she responded by saying, really, I am a student. There we go. Let's continue listening.
Oh, that's interesting. I think Emilio is an artist too.
Here it's like, oh, now we're looking at, oh, that's interesting. Interesting is like, interesting. That's, wow, that's great. That is very interesting. I think Emilio's an artist too. That means that Pierre thinks that Emilio's an artist like Gabriela. Gabriela is an artist. While Pierre, talking to her, says, well, I'm a gardener. Gabriela is an artist. Now, Emilio is an artist? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let's hear what they say.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Ah, no, he is not. Quick response. No, he's not. No, he is not. And next, you have the last two. So we don't know which is the first. No, he's not. We don't know if the next what the next sentence is going to be. So let's hit that arrow again. Remember, you can stop and hit again. Stop and hit again. And go slowly as you hear the sentences. You're looking at the sentences. You need time to analyze it. As you're reading and listening, that is helping you to combine the grammar and the structure and the idea of the conversation. So let's kind of finish up what they're saying.
He's a painter.
Right, but he's a house painter, not an artist.
So there we go. He's a painter. Yes, he is. He's a painter. And then we go, Gabriela says, right. But he's a house painter, not an artist. So great. I'm doing this very slowly. You're listening and you're learning a little bit about positions, jobs, and how to say, I am a cook, he is a cook, he is a painter, he is an artist, and identify those jobs by the conversation. And then what you do here, remember I said, save it. Excellent way of seeing how well you did. You want a grade for yourself. Come on. Okay, there we go. And then submit. And look, everyone in the class got 100%. All right, you're doing well. You're listening very good. So I'm hoping that we continue this listening and reading, because little by little we're going to be writing. And I'm going to now turn to what are some of those areas that we cover, because I have a few minutes to, oh, look at this. It even gave you check marks. Look at that. It gave you check marks. That means everything was correct. It is the order of the conversation. So this conversation, you did well. So good job. And that is one way of doing it that will be easier. Listen to the conversation first. Do it again, sentence by sentence. So you listen first to the whole conversation and then do little sentence by sentence. Stop, listen, select. stop, go on, and you keep doing repeat, repeat, repeat until you come to the end. And that's going to help you. If there's anything here that you feel you want to remember, write it in your notebook. You'll be amazed. The moment something is interesting to you, it's like, I want to say this correctly. I want to write this down. This, you can replace it. You can put in the words of yourself. For example, I'm a student at my English lab, which is the digital book. I am a student using my English lab, the Pearson book. So that is giving you access to a conversation plus your work. It's like, yes, I am a student. Yes, I am a cook. And those two things happen and in our daily lives. Let's kind of go back because I want to cover a few things. All right, all right. We used a lot of I am, he is, she is. Okay, we didn't do much of this area, but we can, now that we know how to use the subject first, the verb, and now you're ready to look at the positions. Okay, I am a cook. He is electrician, right? Singular. This is singular. So which of these two do I use? Electrician. Let me make sure I don't cover it. I want you to see it. He is, that's his job. He is, which of these two? Do you use this? Or do you use this? You're going to say, yeah, we have to use this one because this is a vowel, not a consonant. What are vowels? A, E, I, O, U. He is an electrician. This makes it here clearly. But if you make a mistake and use this, it's not clear. This helps for you to hear it. An electrician. Remember, this is only for singular. Okay? Let's say, for example, a group of people, and each one is an electrician. So a group of, they are is a group. Many. They are, this is only singular. They are electricians. You keep it that way. So you're good. You do not use a or an. And we're going to see where we find this, because this is going to be a lesson that we cover the next day. But they are electricians. You are an office assistant. That's one person. You are an office assistant. Why an? Again, it's a vowel. Okay, So I'm going to show you where the chart is. This is the best part of this program. I'm going to show you. So let's go down. You see grammar? You see the grammar here? Let's go there. This is a grammar lesson. We talked a lot about he is, she is, I am. We did a little bit of they are. Okay, you are. Let's look at something in that. Just click there. And let's, we're not going to watch the coach. That can be for tomorrow. But I want you to look at something. You see, they're coming back with, is she a cashier? Kim is a cashier. Okay. You see this little light bulb right up there? See that little light bulb? I put the marker there, the arrow. Okay, you see, it's a light bulb. It's a bulb. Look what comes up. Hit that, and that will remind you how to apply a, and. And then the grammar watch below it would identify exactly what I said. Vowels are A, E, I, O, U. Consonants are all the other letters. So when you have a consonant, you use A. When you have a vowel in the first word, Yolanda is an artist because it starts with the letter A. If it's an O, like office assistant, an office assistant. These are charted throughout the whole digital book. So every exercise you go to, you're going to find a little mark like that, okay? Or, let me step out. This is excellent because it helps you to remember. Let's go back to the course, and I'll show you one other area so that I can continue talking about what we covered today. All right. There is a coach. I recommend do it tonight if you can. Be prepared for tomorrow's class. Look at the coach. Do the grammar. We have to learn where the grammar goes in a sentence so that we can continue listening. We did a little bit of listening, but now we're going to look at grammar. I recommend you do it at tonight, or review what you just learned and go back. Okay, so we can try the coach, right? We can wrap it up with that.
Really quick.
Okay, real quick. So here we can look at,
Open the dialogue on the bottom.
and this is the dialogue that you need. That was the other little icon or image. And guess what? Look at that. You're going to see someone talking, and she's going to give you a lesson, and you're going to see maybe those sentences are great for you to write down so that when you come back tomorrow, you will have Miles, the other teacher, and he's going to cover much of what we don't cover today. So yes, today's lesson, that's what he's going to cover. You can read it. Just hit that little mark. If you hit that little mark, it goes away. And I'm not going to go through the video. And if you hit the video, it begins talking, and you have a person that's going to come up.
Hello. Today's lesson is about
Expanded.
And let's expand it so that you can get an idea. You expand it here. So you hit that button and the whole screen comes up. Okay? Got that? All right, because I'm going to do it now. Huh. Come on. Let's just...
Or it's because you didn't open a different screen. It's okay.
So
A and and singular and plural nouns.
I'm not sure I
Let me
know
tell
why
you
it
about
doesn't
you.
open, but it opens. And then the same little mark is at the end when you scroll over and then bring it back to this size. So this is an image of someone talking. So it's another teacher talking to you and giving you lessons. But let's go back again. Now you know 2 ways to kind of cover materials tonight and be prepared for tomorrow. You may want to go over, especially grammar. Highly recommended. Even if it's that 3-minute coach, the lady that's talking, do that. Take notes. Now you have the chart that I showed you in color, and you also have her talking. And all you have to do is just hit that area that I showed you and hit this little mark right here. See this little mark right here. And again, it gives you all the words that she's saying. So to wrap it up a little bit, we talked about 16 jobs. Remember 1 to 16. We may have to review the numbers, okay, of jobs. You can also say occupations. What work do you do? What work do you do? What position do you have? These are many conversation pieces that you use to say about jobs that may not have been displayed in the program. Duties. Duties is what are the job requirements? What are those? Well, if I cook, I learn all of the ingredients, measuring. If I'm a cook, I have to measure. If I'm an accountant, I better know math. Those are duties. If I am an accountant, I better know math. If I am, an accountant, the duties are math, okay? Those are some of the things that they will be calculating and reporting, and computer. You need computer work. So there's some duties, is be able to calculate. So these are some of the things that will be helpful for you to learn. We did a little bit about what are vowels, A, E, I, O, U, consonant, all other letters. When do we use A and N? But we'll always have this. We'll always have this. So if you can begin making sentences, write a few sentences. I think Miles is going to love. So, oh, they learned to write, I am a cook. He's going to ask you. I'm giving you a few hints. Hints are things that he may ask you. He's going to ask you, write a sentence. And he wants to see that. I need always for you to tell me, how was your experience? What do you want to learn that will be included in this unit? Send your questions. I want to learn this more, and we could give you some information about it. Experiences, or write. It says, I'm writing, just write a sentence. Me, personally, I ask you, what do you do? Send those sentences. I want to know, what do you do? What do you do? Are you a homemaker? That means you stay home. You may say, I am looking for work. I am looking for work. That's all you have to write. Those are sentences that you should be practicing in your notebook. I am looking for work. And I'll ask you, what work? What job? Then you say, so this is something that you can start creating in your notebook when you have breakfast, when you have lunch, when you have dinner. Those are your 10 minutes. Do the review of your notes. Your notebook is going to be with you all the time, and your English language improves and it goes forward. And just prepare for the class tomorrow. I want Miles to be very surprised. He's going to hear you write sentences. If I don't get to speak to you, he will give you some information that would help you continue. So see you again very soon. I will be back. Miles will be in tomorrow, and loved teaching to you. So thank you for inviting me in your house, in your place, in your home, wherever you are. Thank you.